Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're continuing my 2022 boxing awards, as this video is going to be on my knockout of the year in 2022. This one's always a fun one to do. I really enjoy doing knockout of the year, you know, but studying and going back and looking at all the knockouts just so I can have it is a pain in the ass. But I enjoy doing it, you know, because I like to be precise on why I picked that. But part of the criteria for me, because I know like Ring Magazine will always reach back and just go with the most brutal knockout of the year. Me, I don't like that. I want it to be a meaningful fight. You know, a brutal knockout, yes, but it's got to be a meaningful fight. I could give a fuck less about two guys that are in the top 50 and one guy knocks out the other guy brutally. Yeah, okay, maybe that'll make it as a highlight reel, but for me, if it was a meaningless fight, then I don't really care, you know? So I want to see a knockout in a meaningful fight. So, you know, so I basically, guys in the top 10, shit like that. And they can knock out a dude that's not in the top 10, but I would just like it to be, you know, the bigger names in a more meaningful fight. So if that makes sense, let's get it rolling. But before we do, if you guys could smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your guys' support, and I'm just trying to build my page up a little bit more. So please show me some love if you like the videos. If you don't, do the fucking thumbs down, because I don't want fake shit. But if you like it, send me some love. I appreciate it. So let's get into it. As we always do, we're going to do the divisions under 122, any meaningful knockouts there, and then we go 122 all the way to heavyweight with candidates all the way through. Under 122, there's two candidates. First up, Naoya Inoue, second round knockout of Nonito Donaire to unify 3 of the 4 belts at 118 pounds bantamweight. It was a big fight right here. Just talking about the knockout, I mean, he caught him cold, hurt him badly, and just didn't let him recover. That was a big knockout for Inoue. It was a very meaningful fight, unified 3 of the 4 belts, big time win. The next one was Naoya Inoue's 11th round knockout of Paul Butler to unify all 4 belts at bantamweight and become the undisputed champion. I mean, this one, he just, I mean, you knew Inoue was the man and he was probably going to win, but he went in there against a Butler that really just looked like he wanted to survive the distance and go the distance. And Inoue was like, nah, I'm not letting you do that either. He started beating him to the body, and then finally the body shots made Butler succumb and could not get up as, you know, Inoue became the undisputed champ at 118. Now 122, another candidate was Bam Rodriguez's 8th round TKO of Sor Rungvisai. He absolutely broke down Rungvisai, beat him up, and impressively stopped him in the 8th round of that fight to retain his belt at 115. Big time win right there. That is also a candidate. 122, I got Murajan Akhmadaliev, his 12th round knockout of Ronnie Rios. I mean, this was impressive because not only did he retain, you know, the unified title with this win, and, you know, he was like the number 2 guy, he really had something to prove, but he had an injured hand and he had the fight won. You know, all he had to do was finish and he had the fight won, but he went after Rios with an injured hand in the 11th round, brutal body shot, put Rios, the always tough Rios, down and out, and that was all she wrote. So that's it for 122. The other candidate was Azat Havanassian, second round knockout of a guy named Aguero. I had to find another one. He brutally knocked him out. No surprise there. To stay hot on the trail of a world title fight. Next candidate, 126, was Lee Woods, 10th round knockout of Michael Conlan to retain the WBA regular belt. This is a big win right here. He came from behind and brutally knocked out Conlan in the 12th round of a fight that he was behind on the scorecards. That was an impressive knockout win right there for Lee Wood. So he's a candidate. The other candidate for knockout of the year was Mauricio Lara's 3rd round knockout of some guy named Sanchez. So not really a big one to talk about, but I was trying to find 2 candidates per division. Lara is a legitimate top 10 guy, so that was a pretty good knockout. 130, Joe Cordina's 2nd round knockout of Kenichi Ogawa to capture the IBF title. Big upset right here. Huge overhand right landed. Put Ogawa down like a ton of bricks as Cordina captured that belt impressively. The other candidate at 130 was Shavkat Rakimov's 9th round TKO of Zelfa Barrett. I mean, he just stormed back into the fight after Barrett had put him down earlier, and Barrett was still ahead heading into the 9th round. But you could tell he was running out of gas, and Rakimov was just pressing him, and he finally finished him off in the 9th round impressively and captured the IBF title in the process. So that is my second candidate at 135. 140, Regis Prograis' 11th round knockout of Jose Zepeda to capture the vacant WBC title at 140. I mean, just an impressive performance. You know, Zepeda is a really legitimate fighter, and you know, a lot of people thought this was like a 50-50 fight, and Prograis just broke him down and impressively knocked him out in the 11th round to capture the WBC belt. Other candidate was Ryan Garcia's 6th round knockout of Javier Fortuna. You know, he just dominated a former champion, Fortuna, who was a solid fighter. He dominated him, body shots, just broke down Fortuna and stopped him in 6 rounds. So big one, you know, solid win for Ryan. 147, knockout of the year there was, candidate was Crawford's 6th round knockout of David Avanesian. It was an impressive knockout. You know, nobody wanted to see this fight because everybody wanted Crawford and Spence, but Crawford, when the fight fell through, went after Avanesian, and you know, he brutally knocked him out in the 6th round with a left uppercut. It was a big time catch as he retained his WBO belt. The other one I go with, you know, Errol Spence Jr.'s 10th round knockout of Yordenis Ugas. It wasn't a one-punch type knockout win, but he just absolutely beat the shit out of Ugas, broke him down and beat him up, and that to me is almost similar to a one-punch knockout type win. 154, Jermell Charlo's 10th round knockout of Brian Castano to become the undisputed champ at 154. He broke down, sat down on his punches, and stopped Castano impressively in 10 rounds. I mean, it was a very big win and a good knockout. The other candidate was Sebastian Fundora's 9th round TKO of Erickson Lubin. He absolutely broke Lubin down in this one. Lubin, though, had went ahead on the scorecards and put Fundora down in the 7th, and then Fundora just poured it on the next 2 rounds as he found his legs and impressively stopped Erickson Lubin to become the WBC interim champion. 160, first candidate was Janibek Alimkhanuly, Kazakh style, his 2nd round knockout of Danny Dignam to become the WBO interim middleweight champion. Janibek just went in there, interim title on the line, a title shot, you know, staring him right in the face, and he just brutally dominated Danny Dignam in this one to claim that vacant belt, and it led to him being upgraded to champion later on in the year. The other one was Triple G's 9th round TKO of Ryota Murata, you know, to unify belts. Triple G broke down Murata and really beat him up and impressively finished him off in the 9th round to unify belts. 168, Caleb Plant's 9th round knockout of Anthony Durrell. What a brutal knockout that was. You know, Caleb Plant, to nobody's surprise, was winning on the scorecards, but nobody saw the left hook coming in the 9th round that put Anthony Durrell down and out for the count. Big time knockout win for Caleb Plant right there to elevate himself in the super middleweight division again. The other candidate was David Morrell's 12th round knockout of Yerbasanuli. He really broke him down, brutally knocked him out, and actually put Yerbasanuli in a coma, you know, after the fight. So, but it was a big knockout, and I got to include it as much as I hate doing that. 175 goes to, let me see here. It goes to Smith's 9th round knockout, Callum Smith's 9th round knockout of Badr Leak. You know, in a contenders bout, as Callum Smith stayed busy. It was his 2nd fight at light heavyweight, and he was trying to prove himself, and he went out there and broke him down and knocked him out. The other candidate was Arthur Beterbiev's 2nd round TKO of Joe Smith Jr. to unify the 3 of the 4 light heavyweight titles. I mean, he just dropped them, hit them hard, and in the 1st round and the 2nd round, he just blitzed them again and finished them off, impressively stopping them and unifying 3 of the 4 belts. Cruiserweight, first candidate was Alexei Papin's 2nd round knockout of Dilan Prasovic. You know, Papin was trying to keep himself alive for a another world, for his first world title shot at cruiserweight. And Prosovic, had fought Okolie for the title, in the year prior and got stopped. Was trying to get back in the mix, and Papin just brutally knocked him out in the second round to keep himself alive. The other one was Mikhail Cieslak's first round TKO of Enrico Quailing. Cieslak was coming off the loss to Lawrence Okolie, trying to reestablish himself. He took on a former world title challenger in Enrico Quailing, and he dominated him, stopping him in just the first round. Heavyweight. I have 4 candidates at heavyweight. The first is Joe Joyce's 11th round knockout win over Joseph Parker to claim the vacant WBO interim title. I mean, that was a big win right there for Joe Joyce against a solid former champion, still in his prime, in Joseph Parker. And Joe Joyce, just a big, heavy-handed guy, broke down Parker and finished him off in the 11th round with a brutal knockout to claim the interim belt. Next candidate is Tyson Fury for his 6th round knockout TKO of Dillian Whyte to retain the WBC heavyweight title. I mean, everybody knew Whyte had a puncher's chance, but Fury just went in there and beat up Whyte and then landed a brutal uppercut where Whyte basically fell forward onto him and he pushed him off. And Whyte just really couldn't recover as Fury retained the WBC belt. Next was Deontay Wilder's brutal first round knockout of Robert Helenius in Wilder's comeback fight. Helenius actually wasn't doing bad in that first round. He was putting it on him, but a short counter right hand right down the pipe put Helenius flat on his back, knocked him out, and Wilder proved he's still got that fire and that power, and he's ready to get back in the mix in the heavyweight division. And the last candidate was Daniel Dubois' 4th round knockout of Trevor Bryan to claim the WBA regular title at heavyweight. Bryan was a good fighter, but Dubois just went in there and beat him up, and in the 4th round landed a big left, I think it was a left hook that put Bryan down hard and out, and he claimed the WBA regular belt. So now we look at our top 10 knockouts of the year from 10 to 1. Number 10, I'm going with Naoya Inoue 2nd round TKO of Nonito Donaire. He caught him cold, really hurt him badly, finished him off, unified 3 of the 4 belts. That one's number 10. Number 9 goes to Trevor Bryan's 4th round knockout of, Daniel Dubois' 4th round knockout of Trevor Bryan. Bryan was an undefeated guy, and Dubois went in there as a challenger and just dominated him and then brutally knocked him out in the 4th round to claim that regular belt. And it's going to lead to a title shot for him or him to be upgraded to full champ at some point. Number 8 goes to Wilder's 1st round knockout of Robert Helenius. A lot of people were worried Wilder was going to be kind of gun shy, and they weren't sure what they were going to see against Helenius, and he landed a short counter right hand that it looked just as dynamite as his full extension right hand, as you just saw the insane power still there and the confidence still there for Wilder as he brutally knocked out Helenius. That's number 8. Number 7 was Tyson Fury's 6th round knockout over Dillian Whyte, TKO. He caught him cold, put him down hard, and 2 top 5 guys for the title. That one's number 7. Number 6 goes to Terrence Crawford's 6th round knockout of David Avanesyan. I know nobody wanted to see this fight, and Avanesyan wasn't on Crawford's level, but Crawford, it's still a big fight because it's Crawford, and Crawford brutally knocked this guy out. He landed a very fucking flush left uppercut that brutally put Avanesyan down and out as Crawford kept his title. Number 5 goes to Jermell Charlo's 10th round knockout of Brian Castaño. This was just well put together. He sat down on the punches. It was more about an accumulation and the way he broke him down as opposed to just the one-punch finish, but there was so much on the line. Big-time win to capture the undisputed title. Number 4 goes to Joe Joyce's 11th round knockout of Joseph Parker. He just finished him off so clean and so brutal in this one to claim the interim belt at heavyweight. Impressive win for Joe Joyce. That's number 4. Number 3 goes to Joe Cordina's 2nd round knockout of Kenichi Ogawa. I'm sticking with, the one punch side of it as you get into the top 10. And man, what a knockout this was. He caught Ogawa and knocked him out hard. in this one. Impressive win, claiming that belt at 130. That's number 3. Number 2 goes to Leigh Woods, 12th round TKO over Michael Conlan. The way he knocked him out through the ropes, just such an impressive win. And the fact that he came from behind to score this knockout and retained his belt in a fight that he was losing, you know, and he was also the underdog. I mean, just so many big things in this fight that made this knockout so impressive. But the knockout itself was great, so that one's number 2. But the award for 2022 Knockout of the Year, I had to do it because it was just that good. Caleb Plant's 9th round knockout of Anthony Dirrell. You know, this one to me was the best one-punch knockout on my list. I mean, it was fucking brutal, you know? He landed a flush left hook, and I think the fact that part of it, you know, it was a battle of 2 former champs at 168. But the thing is nobody was surprised that Plant won. Most people were picking Plant because of the style clash. But it was just to knock out an always, well, you know, strong chin Anthony Dirrell and knock him out so brutally like that was just fucking impressive. And it was, you know, it was the knockout of the year for me. I'm not a big Caleb Plant fan, but man, that was just a brutal knockout. It was on a big card, the co-feature of the Wilder Helenius pay-per-view, and it just was such a statement knockout victory. And for me, that is my 2022 knockout of the year, Caleb Plant's 9th round knockout of former 2-time champion Anthony Dirrell. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support as my 2022 Boxing Awards continue. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.